Welcome back to Pro Vibe Garage. I'm Jamie, that's Mara, and today will be a slight update to something I've already done. So bear with me, I just got over a cold, so the throat's a little raspy and the voice is a little off. So I'll do my best and we'll get right into this. So first things first, when I was doing my last video, if you saw that, actually in the short that I did, the passenger side headlight, the door was hanging up on something. When I went to inspect it and adjust things, because everything was just loosely fit in and not properly adjusted yet, when I tested it, I got a little too excited. I found that the screws from the metal actuator bracket to the headlight doors was hitting on a rivet on the side of the headlight bezel. So those I had actually straightened out, but they were like this and they need to be straighter. So I'll take those out and straighten them up a little bit better. Also noticed, with the help of a follower, Greg, thank you, there are tabs on the top of the headlight doors that when they come down, this tab hangs up on the bezel and stops it from drooping too much. And that was my issue that I mentioned that I wanted to adjust on the headlight door on the driver's side. So that, when I went to go and take apart the other day, became a bigger problem. The headlight doors themselves, they were the 55-year-old original ones that came on the car, and they weren't in the best shape to begin with. As I mentioned in my last video, they were split at some of the screw holes, and one was a little worse than the other. Well, when I went to adjust things, I completely broke the holes, or that part of the door where the holes are. So I remedied that with new headlight doors from Classic Industries. Saved myself the time and the worry for later. I ended up getting left and right. Figured do them both at the same time, as you know, I'm going to need to do anyways. So why not? There is the passenger side. I'll show you what I meant here. For me, I didn't know this. This was told to me by Hot Dog's Garage, Greg. He was told, I guess, from somebody, but there is the tab that I was talking about. That hangs up and stops it from drooping. Mine were broken on both, so that's my issue there. Right. And there's the driver's side, Charger logo. I'm gonna have to put some holes on this side for the RT. You might know I don't have an RT. My car came with this, but I like the look of the RT, so I am cloning it. I want to put a Hemi in here, so it's fitting. But yeah, my first thing I'm gonna do now is take these covers and I'm gonna give them a little scuffing and a shot of paint. As when I painted this, I also did this again. So the paint's not gonna match. So I am going to just give it a shot of paint and make sure that it's gonna look the same. These were the original ones, so they were not in the greatest shape. I did kind of bring them back to life. So that's my next step. So this is what I was talking about here. Where these screws are, I broke the headlight door itself, and then this bracket here, this metal piece, they're angled out a little too far. So when I take this off, I'll take out the headlight doors, change them out for the new ones, which are now painted, It's got the same matte black that I've used pretty much inside and outside everywhere on the car. So that'll match, no shiny and matte finishes and whatever difference all around. But yeah, I'll straighten up these brackets, switch out the doors, and then realign everything, put it all back in the car, tighten it up, and hopefully then test it and make sure everything is lined up and working properly. Okay, so I've taken my logos out, or the emblems, and on the original one, there are holes. There's the 4 holes. One is a guide for a pin, and on the new one, I'm gonna have to measure it out and transfer those holes so I can put the emblems back in. The only difference between the new one and the old one is the old one has the Pentastar, and the new one says OER beside the numbers. Other than that, everything's identical. So yeah, transfer those over and start getting those back together. Okay, so a small change I had to make. Where the bolts go through here, these holes in the new one are slightly larger than the old one, so my screws don't bite into that. I also had to drill the hole that's on the pivot arm, whatever you want to call it. There's a little pivot point. It was too small, so I drilled that out. It was about a 1/16 of an inch too small. Small little changes, but something needed to be done. Other than that, I'm almost ready to put it back together. So the bolts that I have are slightly longer than normal. I'll put them through and then tighten a nut on the inside. Should clear, but it's the only thing I can do to have it actually bite into the headlight cover. So there's what I was talking about. Some nuts on the inside. Not all of the screws are grabbing into this. I don't know if they're supposed to. They did before on the old ones. This one out of the 4 did. So a couple of nuts, throw that on the inside like that, screwed from the outside, and it seems to hold and everything clears. So on to the next side. Okay, so everything's back in. I don't know if you can tell, it is hot as hell here. It's 33 or 88 for you Americans. Anyways, yeah, the grill is all back installed. Everything is adjusted. And now, time to test it, see what it looks like. Don't forget, this is a Skidoo battery, and it is almost dead. So with a proper car battery, charged up, especially under power, it's going to be a lot faster. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be slow and whiny, but it is the only spare battery I have right now. So until I get a car battery in here to test things and run the stereo and everything to hook that up finally, we'll see. Anyways, without further ado, Skidoo battery from my lovely Skidoo. Going to power the headlights and see how they look. So in my previous video hooking all this up, you remember the red wire is a constant power, black is to the ground, and the light green gets spliced into the light green's wire coming out of the dimmer switch. So when your lights are powered down or off, the red wire is constantly powering them to keep the doors closed. And when you flick your switch on, your green switch gets power, which causes your doors to go up. So I'll show you that now. I got my ground on the battery, red wire, reset that, and then the green wire. And turn the lights off. Right on, they work. Now I can't wait to see what they look like when they have a proper battery. So with about an hour's work over 2 days, I was able to take out the headlight doors, swap them out, paint them, replace everything, get it all adjusted, and everything works well now. Glad I was able to do that. I wasn't happy with it misaligned and then hitting the screws and then breaking it. That was bugging me. So it's done for now. Moving on to the next project soon, hopefully. Waiting on QA1 suspension. It's out of stock and waiting for it at the vendor that can get it to me. So we'll see when that comes in. Hopefully I can get something done before that, but until then, hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe, and check me out on Instagram, Pro Vibe Garage, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.